due to a broken healthcare system that favors profits over people. And credential fixes have failed to help. Will you commit to supporting real healthcare system reform provided by the single-payer Minnesota health plan that would provide affordable, quality care for every Minnesotan?
Healthcare is a really huge issue in our community. I've had background addressing healthcare on many different levels, as far as insured navigation, to addressing accessibility and people just being able to obtain healthcare. I think that healthcare needs to be a community and protected. I think that healthcare is a right, and I think I'm all for free healthcare and services and such like that. And I think that it's really important that we look at the disparities around healthcare and the accessibility, the affordability, and things like that. I think that we should all receive top-tier healthcare no matter our gender, race, or income.
Absolutely. I think this is a core fundamental issue for our country. We pride ourselves in being a country that can afford its citizens the basic human rights, and healthcare is a basic human right. When it comes to the state of Minnesota, I've had the privilege of partnering with my friend, David. He's from us, he's a delegate. Hi, David. This amazing individual dedicated most of the last 6-7 years fighting for healthcare, single-payer healthcare here in the state of Minnesota. And it is up to the individuals in this table who will need to go to the Capitol and fight for that. Because that means when we have single-payer, that means it's inclusion, that means it's equity. That means that all of us can live a thriving life.
I support single payer. I'm a public health practitioner during COVID-19. We saw how COVID-19 pandemic exposed the disparities, the inequality within our healthcare system. And I work with Minnesota Department of Health to ensure that our folks throughout the state of Minnesota got access to vaccine and access to testing services in COVID-19. So I know that health disparities, and especially the social health, those things are things that need to be addressed, but we need to strengthen our community-based organizations that work in those areas, and I will support single payer to ensure that we all live a thriving, healthy life, because it's what's going to make us a great and continue to thrive. Thank you.
Please hold your applause. We're taking their time to answer questions, so we wait till the end, please.
So I'm very supportive of addressing healthcare. Last year, I had a great opportunity to travel to Taiwan on the trade delegation as chair of agriculture. And unfortunately, I got sick during the trip. But one of the great things for Taiwan is they have universal healthcare. And I got to experience their system. Going through their hospital, talking to the doctors, and it is phenomenal. It's actually encouraged me more to look at having a similar system here in the state and hopefully in the country. Minnesota passed a study to look at a public option. I think it is a good move moving towards a single-payer system, and I will be encouraging and advocating for a better healthcare system for all.
Next question. What is your vision for creating more safety for all people in our community?
Absolutely. So I think in this district, one of the biggest things that you've lived here long enough, I've been in this district for 20 plus years, is the safety part of our community, public safety. I remember growing up and being able to go outside and play and just have a good time with my neighbors. But in our community, public safety becomes something that has been an issue for us. And getting somebody who will be able to collaborate, work with our law enforcement, making sure that there's accountability-based resources for them to keep our community safe. Making sure that the community itself, we have a responsibility to also create a community that is safe for all of us. So we can't sit here and put public safety as in one way issue for one particular group of people. It has to be a collective effort to make sure that we live in a community that is thriving, that is safe, because when we are safe, then our businesses, our schools, and our community is safe. Thank you.
Public safety is critically important. We all know that. And part of my platform is to ensure that we provide the resources needed to our public safety departments in ASEAN and in Open Park. The current police chief Open Park is someone who I interviewed and one of those who wanted to hire him and all. So we've been working on strengthening that relationship to ensure that the law enforcement authorities, I'm talking both fire and police, that they have the resources needed to do their job and to work with our young folks and to show that we have an integrated public health, public safety system where everybody is treated fairly and everyone is treated equitably. But we do need to provide the resources necessary for our public safety departments to be able to do their work. Thank you.
I'm happy to pass a $300 public safety package for the state of Minnesota, and the fundings include various aspects of for local units, governments to utilize organizations ranging from youth programs to mental health crisis to supporting officers on the ground with more resources and providing violence intervention groups to also utilize these funds and support our communities in addressing the public safety issues in our district.
Public safety is a really big topic for me. I founded an organization called the Village PT where I work boots on the ground, so I know firsthand the disparities that we're facing. I work side by side with law enforcement, community groups, and other stakeholders to ensure that our community is safe. The approach that I've taken, over-policing is a problem, right? So I've come up with a new approach that included the community, all stakeholders, and such. And we actually did a lot of positive change. And so I know that we've received funding and stuff like that, at state level, but I'll tell you, there's so many groups out there that are underserved and that are not funded. As a Minnesota State Representative, I will do my best to make sure that we push more money into public safety and think of innovative ways to address those disparities. I have a son that is in the military right now. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, I'll wrap it up.
Thank you. That was our last question. Our time has expired. Now would be all of your hair. At this time, have your current chair and vice chair, Nalima and Jorge, come to the stage, please. Please bear with us as we just double check our plan for the next part.
tell you it's still here. You just already small.
Okay, I have an important announcement. This is an important announcement. We are going to freeze the floor for voting in 5 minutes. We are going to freeze the floor in 5 minutes, and what that means is delegates need to be seated in your seats in 5 minutes. Delegates need to be seated in your seats in 5 minutes and starting the clock now. If you are not a delegate, you need to be in the alternate and visitor area. If you are not a delegate, you need to be in the alternate and visitor area. And if I can have representatives from each of the campaigns come up here, please. Somebody from each of the 4 campaigns come up. And the tellers, please report to the stage. Our 2 tellers, please report to the stage. Again, I want a representative from each of the 4 campaigns to also come up here.
If you are a delegate, you finding a seat, find your friends. Your delegate, find a seat on the floor with your direct delegation, A side or B side. If you are not, please be in the chairs in the back of the room. Thank you.
And I'll tell you, the voting process will begin shortly, and the delegates are already up, making sure they can take their seats. These are party representatives you see,
If you are a delegate.
representatives from the various
If you are not.
candidates, the four campaigns indeed.
If you are just having a nice conversation and you're not involved, could you take it outside, please? It's a great day out there.
And it's KMTV. We are everywhere, and that's why we are here at the
30 seconds.
Northview Middle School in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. The Democratic Party Convention of 2024 is taking place. My name is Cyrus McGee, right here with this coverage. Thanks to all of you who are following. In 30 seconds, the floor will be frozen. Credentials are being worked on. Presentation. It's been a relatively long morning, on to the afternoon hours. So then we will be moving at the back of the room.
For those asking, the camera is moving to the back of the room. When you vote, your vote is private and no one is going to be videotaped while you're voting. So he's just been asked to move that way while we're waiting for the credentials report. We're voting on the really high-tech, we're gonna do pens and paper. The most important thing to remember though, you must sign your ballot, okay? What does that mean? That means on the front side of the piece of paper that you're going to get, it's a really high paper. It's a notepad. You'll get a piece of paper. Write the candidate's name on the front that you want to vote for, turn it over, and sign your name. Your name does not have to be perfectly legible. Trust me, mine is not. You just have to be able to recognize your signature, okay? However you sign it. And you need to write a part of the candidate's name. We're not spelling. Okay, I'm a little sarcastic about it because I have issues with spelling sometimes. Write just the first name, write the last name, write part of the name, okay? Just make sure we can recognize people who are counting the ballots and recognize the candidate you are voting for and your name separately on the ballot. If you write it on the front side, that's okay too. The ballot just needs to be signed to be legal. So here's the goal for you. No spoiled ballots. Can we all say that? No spoiled ballots. Because what happens when you spoil a ballot? It means your vote didn't count. Because we can't count your ballot. Our goal is for every person who's here, who's giving their time, and being here to have your vote count, and we will do everything we can to ensure your vote counts. So what are you going to do? You're going to write the candidate's name on the front or part of the candidate's name, and you're going to turn it over and write your name on the back. Hand it in, okay? Everybody got it? And here comes our credential report, and it says, remember the goal, no spoiled ballots. I've been asked about other people helping other people sign their ballots and write. If you have trouble writing, if you have hands that look like mine, okay, someone else can write it for you. You need to hand them your ballot, and you need to tell them the name to write on the ballot, and you need to tell them your name to write. Okay? They can't just take the ballot and vote for you, but you can tell them. Just like when you go to the voting booth as an election judge, I can tell you, we have many people whose handwriting is illegible and they have trouble filling in the ovals. Same thing here. You can ask someone else to write the name for you. Does everybody understand? Got it all? But remember the most important thing, no spoiled ballots. And we have our credentials report. Our credentials report says that we have, on the A side, we have 109 delegates present. And yes, give yourself a hand for round of applause. And in the B side has 43 delegates present. So that's what we're going to be voting. Okay? And these fancy high-tech pieces of paper are coming around very shortly. These two women will be handing out the pieces of paper. Make sure that you give them back to the same people who gave them to you.
Okay, I'm just gonna walk around the delegate area and make sure we're secure, and then we will commence balloting.
Back in between these chairs, please.
We have had a request, and we're going to grant that request, that each campaign is allowed to bring one lawn sign up to the front here. Each campaign is allowed to bring one lawn sign up to the front.
That was a really good point that was made, and you know what, some of us have been around for a while, and we forget, okay, if you're on this side, you're only allowed to vote for one candidate of two. Who are your two candidates? Your two candidates are Winfred Russell and Hulda Hillsley, okay? Their lawn signs are up here on the front. Those are the only two people you're voting for right now. Over here, you are voting for either Samantha Banks
More
or
preparation voting
Tacoma
begins
Congress.
shortly. We
These
will
are
be
the two
taking a
lawn
break
signs
and
for the
be
two
back
candidates on this side only.
during the
You may vote
course of this
only for one of
process.
those two candidates on
This is
this side.
KMTV, and my
Only
name is
one
Cyrus
of these
McGee,
two candidates on
saying
this
thanks
side.
for being there. We will be taking a very
You
short
don't have
break
to write the whole
and
name,
be
remember.
right back.
But no spoiled developments. Seriously. I will shame people